Trixie, dito sa kabila.
Smoked inside the classroom, and since you actually told us of another smoking incident, so how did you deal with the smoking scenes in 2008?
You know what? That's a good question. For some reason, ngayon naalala ko kung nag-smoke ako, parang hindi ako nagsigarilyo dun sa Nico. Parang puro beer lang. Inom lang ako inom ng beer. Kasi from what I know kay Nick Joaquin, kahit sa CCP, na bawal, sa theater nila bawal yung magdala ng kahit anong drink. Siya lang yung pinayagan nilang manonood ng mga play na may hawak umiinom ng beer. Hindi yata ako nagsigarilyo. Parang hindi ko nakita yung... Kasi there were excerpts about Nick Joaquin, but yung mga time na he was speaking, may mga kausap siya and interacting with other actors, they were very intense. Na there was no time really to show that he was smoking. That's my interpretation of it. It was more of the beer. He had beer drinking. Yun lang, the director showed more of his drinking rather than his smoking.
Okay, so you have four co-stars there. How would you describe their style as actors and actress? I mean, the actress herself. The other three actors. How would you decide?
Oh, here for
Describe
Quezon's
their
game?
yeah.
Rachel and
The three other Billy, James, David.
oh, Billy Ray Gallion, James Paulelli, and
David Bianco.
David Bianco. How would I
Yes.
describe them?
Yeah, I mean their work acting styles because I know you've
Um,
been trying like different acting schools, right?
yes, yes. You know, a friend, not really a friend, but how can I say this? I, I, I don't analyze, hindi ko na-analyze yung mga co-actors ko while I'm having a scene with them. I don't analyze them because I'm just being in the moment as the actor ko, ano yung lumabas. Pag gumana na masyadong utak ng actor, nawawala siya sa moment, nagiging masyadong intellectual yung atake niya, nawawala yung puso. Pag sinabi niya, oh, dapat ganito, arte ko, dapat ganito, dapat ganito. Well, for me, hindi ganun yung style ko kasi nawawala for me yung talagang feeling. At hindi ko maramdaman yung co-actor ko. So, ang kailangan ko lang doon, tumayo ako at makinig lang sa sasabihin niya at hayaan ko yung buong katawan ko mag-react doon. Hindi po dahil sa isang artista lang. Ang kabuuan po para sa akin ng isang seryosong pelikula, seryoso in a way na sa ating iba ipagyayabang sa mundo ay ang kabuuan. Hindi lang po ng mga artista, but ang director, hindi lang director mag-isa, kundi ang producer, hindi lang ang producer, yung scriptwriter, at yung staff, yung energy, kailangan yung set, ang maganda yung energy, yung vibe. So, napaka-importante po nun eh. Pag maganda yung flow, may harmony.
Thank you, Trixie. Dito naman tayo sa harap.
Good afternoon po and congratulations po. Ang ganda po ng movie niyo.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really like your sandals. They're very cool.
Personally po kasi mahilig po ako magbasa ng history. Siyempre, ng mga bayani natin and of course ng mga pangulo ng Pilipinas. Pero nung nakita ko po yung trailer nung Quezon's Game, parang na-realize ko na ang liit-liit lang pala nung nung alam ko about sa history. Parang ganun po yung naging So, curious lang po ako kung saan po nanggaling yung nagkaroon po ba ng research or may book po ba na pinagkunan tong Quezon's Game na?
Actually, usually, pag meron akong mga kilalang taong pinoportray, like before may ginawa akong Rizal, ginawa ko yun sa US. It was a one-man play on Jose Rizal. So I read extensive, a lot of, siguro mga 4 books on him. But actually, prior to that, kasi I was supposed to do Jose Rizal with Mike De Leon. But due to unfortunate events, hindi natuloy yun. So nakapag-research na ako. And with Nick Joaquin, I read his books, I read his work, his literature. I read about a couple of books then. But kay President Manuel Quezon, I didn't have the time because we only had 1 month to prepare. And so kung magbabasa ako ng book, hindi ko maaaral yung script, hindi ko maaaral yung mga linya. At very matatas yung linya eh. Tuloy-tuloy eh. At I had to have that pacing, that it had to be perfect. So I had to compromise reading about his whole life, and I had to focus on research on the life he had during the phase of the Jewish refugees. But I love history myself, and after that, I started researching more about him.
So, meron din po bang doon po sa mga staff or sa mga crew na gumawa ng movie, meron kaya silang naging personal na interview or doon sa mga buhay pang kamag-anak ni Manuel L. Quezon?
Oh, you mean the writers?
Yes po, para
mga
lang po
writers.
maging mas makatotohanan yung
Yes, I
bawat-
believe they researched extensively. May mga kinoconsult sila. I'm not sure kung kausap nila yung apo hindi ko alam yung detail pero hindi lang they were researching with his family if he really said this and this really happened because of course the film will get lambasted if the infos are wrong, so they had to make sure it was as 100% as possible. And then at the same time they had a consultant, a Jewish consultant. I don't remember kung ano yung background. Yeah, but it was someone that they respected, and they would. That's why we had a lot of revisions. That's why it was not easy because once we get to the set, they say, "Oh, Raymond, we changed this line," and like, oh no, like for an actor who has mastered all the lines altogether, especially for a character that is so brilliant and specific. There was not really much room for improv, unless I really immerse myself, hindi lang isang buwan dun sa character na pag nag-improv ako, pag improv lalabas na natural. Yun.
Thank you so much.
Yun.
Pero ate, just to inform you, yung Manolo Quezon, napanood niya na ang Quezon's Game. Some of the family members of the Quezons na Maricel sa Pangilinan na root din siya ng...
Because
Yes.
they're the
Ayan.
Avancenas, they're related
Yes,
to
yeah, yeah.
Avancenas, Pangilinan Avancenas.
Nandun sila, napanood na nila at nakapag-react na rin sila sa Quezon's Game and they liked it. Thank you.
Yes,
And-
actually, si Mr. Ben, I don't know, I forgot his name, I'm not sure if it's Ben Avancena, but an apo also. It was like, to me, it was like, Raymond, parang mong ginawa yun. Galing mo, pati yung puno. He was really talagang so excited. Didn't know if it was just the wine or talagang happy siya sa performance. But
All right, thank you. Doreen, you have a question?
hello, Doreen.
Hi, Sir Raymond. Ang question ko po is, ano po sa tingin niyo yung significance ng ginawa ni Quezon?
To know and to do what's right. And because of that truth, yung katotohanan na yun, ay magkakaroon ng chain reaction yun eh. Darating at darating ang mga taong tutulong sa'yo para mangyari yun. Sabi nga nila, in order to light 1,000 candles, all you need is just one light, one candle. So one great inspiration is enough to change a whole population, the whole world. We just have to believe, and one person can remind us the greatness of each and every one of us. And until now, why is that significant until now? Because until now, if we may go to the OFWs are usually service-oriented. Tayo. We take care of people, sa buong mundo. Only Filipinos. I mean, I'm not demeaning anyone that are not Filipino, but I know Filipinos can do not easy task of taking care of human beings that they don't know, that they're not related to, and they're not really getting paid and compensated that much for it. But they don't do it for a job. They do it because ang sinasabi lagi lang, tao po yan eh. Kasi tao yan, kapwa-tao natin yan. Hindi sinasabing kapwa-Pilipino natin yan, kapwa-tao natin. And when we care, we care. And I have heard many stories na yung mga OFWs na tumulong sa isang family o sa mga anak na napamanahan at pinag-aral at binigyan ng ganyan at natulungan because nagiging part na sila ng family. At ganun ang Filipino. Even though we are not, sa OFWs lang yon, but Filipinos, we make friends with everyone. You know, iba ang Pilipino, hindi agad tayo, kumbaga, we're very friendly and we're very giving. You know, at pag may nangailangan ng tulong, you know, maawain kasi tayo eh. So, we will find a way kahit pa paano. Kung hindi makatulong, we will give them, you know, pare, okay lang yan. Kaya mo yan, you know, ganyan. Pagdadasal kita, I'll pray for you, you know. And the significance of that politically, not really politically, but um, because of what happened, I was surprised to know that merong Jewish community dito sa Pilipinas. I once lived sa May Clark for maybe 6 months para lang ma-feel ko yung provincial living away from Manila, away from traffic. Nag-jogging ako sa loob ng Clark, may nakita po akong that Star of David. It was a Jewish synagogue. And I was very surprised to know that there was a whole community. And then wala pa yung Quezon noon, and I started researching it. And then I started meeting people they were Filipinos, but they have a Caucasian ancestry from what I can see sa itsura nila. And then they had a Jewish name, and I would ask, but you're Filipina. Yeah, but my grandfather's Jewish. And that itself opened up a whole avenue to research and then Quezon's game, napunta sa akin. And I researched more, and then I realized because of that, it brought me back to a movie that I did sa Israel for an Israeli film. Ang daming Filipino workers. We had Fans Day sa may train station. Ang dami, like hundreds and hundreds, maybe almost 1,000 people came. And they went there for me and my co-actress, si Maymay Davao. And doon pa lang, it showed yung support ng Filipino sa Filipino. You know, and then I found out that meron palang open door policy that we received from Israel. And that Filipinos do not need a visa. The significance again of that film to now is just to realize that sometimes it takes us to get out of our comfort zone in order to know na parang makakatulong sa sarili nating problema ang tumulong sa iba. Kasi parang pag iniisip mo lagi ang problema mo, parang nakaka-down yun eh. Pero pag nakatulong ka ng ibang tao, natulungan ko siya, naging okay siya. Parang mas nagkakaroon ng liwanag yung sarili mong problema. So, helping others is a way to open up the dimension of help from the mysteries all around us. Kung masyado mo malalim yan. Or from God. From God, it's not a funny thing, but I mean, just the mystery of helping others. And I think alam natin yan. I'll even expound on that kasi daldal ko, no? I-share ko lang po kasi si Kidlat Tahimik from what I know, he's a filmmaker, Kidlat Tahimik, a very respected filmmaker from Baguio. Yung wife niya is, alam ko, German intellectual, wrote a book. She lived here with Filipinos. She lived in Baguio with yung mga Igorots and iba't ibang klaseng tribes. And she found out something so amazing. She's a German Westerner who realized this greatness in the Filipino. From what I know, Germans are one of the most intellectual people in the world just because of what they have been through, because of the Holocaust, and they've seen much death, and they know how to appreciate life, you know, little details of life that a lot of people miss. And I realized that there is magic here in this country. This is not to demean any other country, but she wrote a book, and the title of the book, ang title ng book ay Kapwa Tao. Yun, yung buong libro ay tungkol sa kapwa-tao. Anong ibig sabihin ng kapwa-tao? Ngayon, significance niyan, yung ginawa ni Quezon, ngayon pa rin, ang daming problema sa Pilipinas, ang daming nating sariling problema, ekonomiya or whatever, family problems or love life, but kailangan yung kapwa-tao, it is what strengthens us. Kapit-bisig, you know, yun eh. That we can weather all things. because of that kapwa-tao. Haba, sorry.
It's okay, sir. Thank you, Doreen. Hindi
Okay ba
naman tayo.
yan, Doreen?
Okay yung sagot,
Hindi ba kita
Doreen.
binuri?
Diba? Pero sir, alam mo, speaking of yung mga kapamilya natin abroad, na tinutulungan din ng mga fellow Filipino natin. Ikaw
Yeah.
naman, sir, gusto lang take us to the journey mo naman, sir, personally, as a kapamilya. Ano po ba yung
Okay.
kwentong kapamilya mo, sir?
Kwentang kapamilya?
Like,
Kwentang...
like here in ABS-CBN, parang, ano ba yung, paano ka nag-start? Kailan ka nag-start gumawa ng mga teleserye, ganyan?
Oh,
or-
wow!
Mm-mm.
Wow.